Sona knows this, but I don't know if Matt knows that Sona was on the tour.
Yes.
We did this kooky tour, which was really fun and out there in 2010. And it was a real happening.
This is the lead up to the tour. We did rehearsals in this giant space in the valley. Giant rehearsal space in the valley. Huge, mammoth space. And we were trying to figure out what this show was. Really, we put it together so quickly. I remember being in this giant space and there was hardly anyone there. There was a couple of my writers, you know, Mike Sweeney and a couple of other writers and Jeff Ross sitting maybe 50 feet away from me. And I'd do something that I thought was kind of funny and then you'd hear nothing. And you'd feel like, oh my God, this is terrible. And then later on you'd find out, well, no, they were laughing, but I just couldn't hear them.
And we needed someone to open for me on this tour. And we found Mr. Reggie Watts.
I make references to weaponry. Ancient or new, I wear bulletproof vests, but no apparent reason other than to create a false sense of importance of which I can never retain on my own.
If anyone's listening to this interview and they're thinking, I've heard of Reggie Watts, but I don't know his whole thing, of course. And you're well known as band leader for Conan for all those years and Comedy Bang Bang. You were not a known quantity at the time, but we saw you and you were absolutely exactly what I wanted. And Reggie was a great opener for the show and you did an amazing job. And one of the things you did so brilliantly is people were coming to the show. We put it together so quickly that nobody knew what it was.
I met a young girl in the south of Spain, and in the right light, she looked like Conrad Bain.
And I wanted them to know right away, this isn't the show you thought you were going to get. In fact, this is unlike any show you've ever seen. People would come in and they'd see the warm-up, and they would think, you were there, Sona, like, oh my God, what is happening? What is this going to be? And it was great. You were perfect.
It was awesome.
I would be sitting in my dressing room alone, doing guitar scales and trying to warm up my vocals for the show. And then I would wander down the hallway and I would pass Reggie's dressing room. And it was always a happening.
Yes.
I would look in the room and there was always about 35 people there.
The coolest people I've ever seen.
And they were always different. Every time it was different people. How did you do that? How did you, and we'd be nowhere. We'd be like, oh, we're here in Tallahassee and there are those people again. And did you fly them in?
I don't know how that, you know what, really? It had to do with the tour. I mean, who wouldn't want to come and hang out backstage at your tour?
It was pretty fun.
People were like, what is happening? Like, they were like, as much as you're saying, like, what is happening with this guy? Like, my friends were like, what's going on with Conan? It's like, I'm opening for, it's impossible. Let me come, you know? And I'd be like, yeah, it was easy. You know, everyone was so excited.
We also never knew who was going to be backstage, and whatever state or city we were in, the most famous people from that state or city would show up. And so, you know, we'd be in Seattle, and it'd say, Eddie Vedder's Pearl Jam's gonna come do something on the show, and I'd be like, what?
Mr. Eddie Vedder.
It's basically a little Valentine card or maybe a birthday card that I've made for Conan, and if you sang along, it would be like you signing the card.
People have asked me, oh, it must have been fun. It must have really been fun, you know, on that tour. And and Eddie Vedder, and that must have really been fun. And no, it wasn't fun. I mean, there's an incredible Eddie in Seattle. Eddie Vedder came out and did Baba O'Reilly with the band, and it was amazing. Conan has gone on to say that it's like one of the best live musical performances he's ever heard. To hear Baba O'Reilly with that big horn section, Conan's band is fantastic. I was standing right in front of the speaker without any ear protection. So it was great, and I lost my hearing for 7 days. So it wasn't fun.
When you went into it, were you expecting one thing and then you got something else?
What surprised me was seeing just how addicted he is to applause and to the audience and to that laugh. And I thought that was very interesting to see that kind of performer's need.
Are you enjoying the show so far? Yeah! Really? You like the show? Yeah! It's fine? It's just that what? I really want to know. It's not so you do this every time you say something's wrong. I asked you what it is and you say, oh, it's nothing. Yeah, East Lansing, I gotta say, it's pretty passive-aggressive of you.
I heard that you guys are doing a tour. Is this possible?
I can't say. No, well...
Blink once.
Yes, it's a possibility. It is a distinct possibility, but...
that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like your fans need more and want more and feel robbed.
Right.
Yeah.
And it'd get me out of the house.
Yes.
Oh.
See, I believe that every cloud has a silver lining. And being unemployed, it just means you get to do the things you love even more. This is the part of the show that I call What I Learned by Andy Richter. I've learned that when you reach a certain age, there's just no such thing as sober sex anymore. It doesn't happen. And it's okay, I guess.
Here I am again. I'm wearing I must have been in Edmonton or something. I'm in Canada. I'm wearing an Oilers shirt. I sort of look like Conor McGregor in this shot, if Conor McGregor had leukemia.
I'm under some legal restrictions for a period of a couple of months right now. I am not allowed to perform on television, the radio, or the internet. That is a fact. That is a fact. In fact, I'll tell you something else. Thank you for booing that, 5 of you guys. The rest of you I have a big issue with.
Played the Palms at Las Vegas. There was my name up in lights in Las Vegas, which I just thought like, I don't really feel like a Vegas guy. I'm certainly not a Vegas performer. But I just thought, I'm thinking, I gotta get a picture of this. This is amazing. This may never happen again.
This is very exciting for me. True story. This is my first show ever in Las Vegas. My first show ever.
Oh, and this is the sparkly suit that I wore. I did a country western number, I think. So I had a sparkly suit, sort of a country western suit that I still have. I wanted to look like Eddie Murphy in one of his stand-up comedy specials, so I got a leather suit that would accentuate my lack of muscle tone, which it did perfectly.
They said, oh, look at these ladies here getting photos. You want a photo of this right here? What are you doing? How are you going to explain this later on to anybody?
Oh my God, the bat. I forgot about the bat. We thought the show should have something really big at the end. And we had heard, I think we wanted a giant inflatable animal of some kind. We wanted it to have kind of an Ozzy Osbourne feel. And I think we heard that he had like a giant inflatable bat or something. So we found the equivalent. We inflated it at the end of the show for no reason, just pure idiocy. And it was really fun. It would rise up slowly. It was not very dramatic. It didn't shoot up like we thought it would. It would slowly come to life. It was very anticlimactic, but I'm really glad that we did that.
For the touring cast of Glee, I'll survive. I will survive. Yeah, they kind of tried to kill me, but I made a liar. All my life to live, so many shows to give. I'll survive. I will survive. Come on, man! Deflate the back to hell. Back to hell, man.
And I'm here and we're chilling, and I've never sweat that much in my life. It is hot and humid here in Tulsa. And the sweat was pouring up my body, and you guys were sweating, and I was sweating. We were all rubbing against each other. On a serious note, have you thought about doing an album from these shows? Because music is a huge part of the show. Yeah, I haven't, because I think there's so much of it that's visual that helps me get away with it. You should. I think if you just heard the music, but I think if Jimmy and the band are incredible. No, but the combination of the whole thing. The combination, you know what? I'm doing it.
I went to Third Man Records and got to make a record with you, which is still one of the tour and then that experience, one of my favorite experiences in my life that I'll always treasure.
So, why don't you try it? I'll tell whole world.
We toured together in 2010, a bunch of us on that tour, bands on that tour, myself, Andy, and I remember you were hilarious on the tour. You were fantastic. Please give it up for Mr. Dion Cole.
I was the only black writer too on the Tonight Show. It was cool, you know. It was nice. It was nice, but it was weird because all the other writers were white. But anytime they had any black questions, they used to ask me, thinking I had the answer for it and shit. Like, this is me, right? We'll be in a writers' meeting. They'll be like this. Wow, I just realized rapper 50 Cent got shot 9 times. I know that had to hurt. Like, motherfucker, I ain't never been shot. I don't know.
But you love to have a good time on that tour.
I love it. We had a great time on that tour.
But you had a really good time. That's all I'm saying. Andy and I had an okay time. There are levels to who had a good time and who had a great time.
A great time.
We were touring city to city to city, and we were staying in this hotel room, and they had a mini bar.
Oh,
Remember this?
Yes.
They had a mini bar, and filled with all the little bottles, okay? You can take over at any point. Go ahead.
Look, I drank all the little bottles, right? But they was too much to, like, pay for those. So I went to a liquor store, and I bought all the little bottles in there, and I replaced them with the little bottles. Only one they didn't have was Hennessy.
It was like you spent a long time exactly recreating.
And I did it.
And you did it. You did it.
I remember
you could remember what they were.
I do. I remember. I remember there was a whole bunch of them. I remember you all were waiting and was like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, hold on, shh. And I want to put everyone back.
It's got to be just
right. Turn the labels forward and everything. Like, I'm going to keep these, though. But then I put these there.
This is me out on stage at Bonnaroo. That's amazing. That's a lot of people, scantily clad, none of whom have showered in 2 weeks. That I remember about Bonnaroo.
Don't think of it as rain. Think of it as us having a shower together. We're having a guy on girl on guy on girl on girl on guy shower together. This is the sexiest thing that has ever happened to me.
At the end of my show, I would go into the audience with a guitar. And I remember going into the crowd and everybody just hugging me. It was dudes and ladies. Nobody was wearing very much. Everybody stank to high heaven.
Hey, Bonnaroo. Andy Richter here. Having fun.
What's your favorite part of Bonnaroo?
My favorite part of Bonnaroo is getting paid.
You and I have something in common, which is we both played Bonnaroo last year.
Last year.
He was born in Arizona.
Got a condo made of stone gates. It's
Unbelievable.
Bonnaroo, in case you don't know what it is. You know what it is?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Bonnaroo's a big,
Bonnaroo, huge music festival.
Huge music festival. It was 100 degrees, and it was very exciting to play there. They're fantastic, enthusiastic audience.
It was a thrill. I mean, it was a thrill for me to play there, and I heard that you were playing at the same time, so it was exciting just to know that we were there together.
Yeah,
it was really
absolutely
cool.
fantastic. Yeah.
You know, I'm bummed out that there was no. I'd love just a photograph of you and I together. You know.
Oh, there's a record. There's a record of it. Haven't you seen the YouTube video?
There's a YouTube video of both of us.
Absolutely.
At Bonnaroo.
Absolutely. Do you have the YouTube video here?
I guess maybe they do.
Wild party at Bonnaroo.
Those are good times.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, though. I didn't get to see your show.
Oh, well, I'm sorry I didn't want to see yours either.
You're a bad, bad man.
You said you were backstage puking with Steve Martin at Bonnaroo in June of 2010. There's only a couple problems. On the still photograph that I took, you have no beard. I have a couple pictures of you at Bonnaroo. You have a beard. You screwed up and just man up to it finally, man. Say it.
Sorry, Mike, but you're the one who has to man up. You are dead wrong. I did not have a beard at Bonnaroo last year. You only thought I did. Take a look at this exclusive behind-the-scenes footage from just before I went on stage at Bonnaroo.
What did you do to your beard? It's hot, and I was tired of it. You idiot! There's like 50,000 Bonnarooers out there who are gonna want a beard. Just glue some of that to your face. Our fans are so stupid, they'll never know the difference. Oh, this is perfect. Tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
That really happened. That's right. So the challenge still stands. Man,
It does?
We're such a-holes, yeah.
I met a young girl in the south of Spain, and in the right light, she looked like Conrad Bain. It's alright, 'cause that's my type. I spent the night, yeah. She took me home to meet her folks, who also looked like the dad on different